Our I-League Invitational panel here on Championship Sunday. Game one of our semifinal matchup between IG and Liquid, an instant classic as Liquid falls victim to one of the classic blunders, the most famous of which, never get involved in a land war in Asia. Let me bring back in my four-man panel here with Lyrical, Lacoste, and Jack joining me. Guys, that game, absolutely incredible, ending just shy of the 60-minute mark. Methodical in the early game. There you go. That XXS Enigma, the story of the game. Methodical in the early game. IG able to contain the early push potential coming out of Team Liquid. They struggle to contain the Sunder coming out of the Terrorblade in those fights, but that team fight combo delivers for IG in the end. Break it down for me, fellas.
This is the most back and forth game that I've seen recently. I'd say like 6 months. Early game was Liquid's because of the Slaughter's great initiations. He was all over the place, got good timing on that Blink Dagger. Also, after that, that was pretty much an Enigma show, I must say.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like, there were multiple points where I liked the Darkseer pickup with the Halberd, and I felt like it was going to be one of the answers. But then it was kind of like he had to do too much in the fights, right? He had to jump in and get the vacuum wall to try and displace everybody, and then get like the Halberd off as well before Sven could end up popping his BKB. And all of these things, like it felt like they needed all of these heroes to do so much. And also, just the vision-wise, you need to find that Enigma at the start of the fight, hex him, and blow him up, and it's just too difficult to do that.
One more thing. This is the first game with 3 Heaven Halberds that I actually ever saw. I mean, this item has been buffed, and it's time to shine for Heaven's Halberd. When you have that one just right clicker who sieges the tier 3 towers with 2 Heaven Halberds and all that spam, you just can't enter the base. I mean, he runs out of the meta pretty quickly because of that delay on his attacks. It's pretty much impossible to siege.
Yeah, absolutely. And this game was absolutely the battle of the offlaners. XXS's Enigma, the most farmed hero in the game at the 47-minute mark. When you're talking about having a Sven and a Terrorblade, how often are you going to see that? He just played incredible Dota. I thought so much of this game was about vision. We talk about Liquid and their vision game with, of course, the corrosive haze from the Slaughter and the scouting from Matumbaman's Illusions. I think he does that as well or better than any carry in the game right now. That really affected the flow of these team fights. Jack, what do you think? How were IG able to bring this game home?
I like some of the decisions that they made on the smaller scale in this game. For one, so I was thinking back to the start of the draft with some of the roaming heroes that you see. If you're talking about more popular roamers like a Sand King or Slardar, for some of these heroes, the blink timing is very important for them to continue that impact. But when you have a roaming hero like Kunkka and say a combo with a Leshrac or something else, you're not really as dependent on that blink early on, so you have more like presence generally speaking, and the ability to take towers with the Leshrac. So I liked that pick. That's kind of one of the strengths of Ricky as well. So I like that pick as a roaming choice for them. In addition to that, if you look at some of the bigger fight decisions that they had to take, like the Sven's itemization in this game from Burning was not immediately into BKB and damage, it was into a very tanky build. And the reason for that was they had to figure out who they wanted to start the fights with, how they wanted to suck people in either together into the Enigma Black Hole or for the mass disable that they had, which was the strength of their lineup, versus Liquid where you kind of want one burst initiation and to kill 1 or 2 people quickly. So it was very hard, obviously, for both teams to take fights. They seemed to be like trying to figure out how to do that as the game went on, and you could see like kind of any kind of misplay being punished very quickly by the high level, like whether it was OP being out of position, the Dazzle being out of position. Numerous times, Roshan and high ground was an issue for both teams. I think Liquid a few times onto high ground really struggled to break that into the IG kind of AoE stun, and it was an issue for them. And then Roshan was bad for both teams at some point this game. It was bad once for IG and bad for Liquid as well. It almost felt like the team that wanted to really take that Roshan got punished, which is kind of what Roshan is supposed to be in a sense, right?
Well, one thing I was afraid for IG is that when Terrorblade hits level 25 with Dazzle Grave, and I love the thinking from Mind Control. He went for Dagon, so he can just Dagon one guy out after he swaps HP.
And the 25 that you bring up is significant, of course, because of that Sunder cooldown becoming so much shorter.
The other thing for me that I saw there was like, it was such a hard game for both the Dazzle and the OD because you want to stay into range to be able to get that save off. And that was, we talked about it, if there was a way that Liquid was going to win this game, it was off the back of those defensive abilities and making those plays. But there's that one Roche fight that you were talking about where Terrorblade is in there, he's hitting away, and then XSS just jumps in, he finds the black hole, catches the Dazzle and the Terrorblade, and from there it felt like they were playing from behind. Granted, at the end, I still thought Liquid was going to win when I saw like Enigma go down like with 2 minutes, and somehow they end up holding out regardless.
That refresh in the end sealed the deal for
that was such a
them.
great play. How many Enigmas wait to refresh in that situation, but he goes for it. And that was really a huge play. Now, the reason I was talking about vision, I think the points that you guys are making are excellent here, but the common denominator in the fights early on that IG were losing was that they would get forced to open on Matumbaman because of the lack of vision, and the Terrorblade of Matumbaman would get the Sunder off on Burning Sven, and Burning Sven would be forced to play in the back line for much of the remainder of the fight, and it felt like when that happened that IG didn't really have the damage to go around their big team fight wombo combo lineup. But I like the point by Jack as well. The Leshrac pick really crucial for them. OP's Ember Spirit underperforms for the second straight game. Remember, he did not have a great time against Alliance on that hero yesterday either, but it was the Leshrac that made up for some of that damage output.
He's sort of like the poor man's Jakiro in a way, right? Like
that's what the caster said.
You take it and you just go for the Diabolic Edict and run around, take down towers. The other thing too is that like 5.6 seconds of disable in the laning stage. You stack the Sven stun, and then the Lesh stun, and then the Torrent. It got first blood there early on as well. And
I thought they were going to get more kills on bottom, but Dazzle rotated there, so they couldn't get much kills there.
Right.
Also, the problem was a nice item build by Burning, though, with that Lincoln Sphere, so Terrorblade couldn't get the Sunder off, but there was Corrosive Haze from Slaughter. That was the problem, and when the second Lincoln Sphere came from OP, that was a big problem for Liquid.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as Lyrical was saying, some scary moments, right, for IG in that game, as it felt like early in the 40 minutes, right, it felt like they had big momentum, big advantage. Burning gets caught out without buyback in the mid lane, out of position. That really stalls out their momentum, and then Liquid able to get that pick off on the Enigma in the jungle. Fortunately, he is able to buy back. Yeah, he is able to buy back and turn that bottom lane fight. But if he makes a mistake in that fight, they've lost the game.
Yeah, totally. It's scary. I mean, and that's the thing too, is that you have these teams that force it to the late game, and this was sort of what happened in their series in Kiev as well. That it felt like one team got off to an early start, and then they would end up being able to turn it back towards the late game. And I kind of thought that was not going to happen in this patch, but showing that high ground still is a pretty big hurdle to climb, even though you have the nerf stall of it as well.
There are a lot of late buybacks coming. If you watch when the enemy dies, they're not doing it right away. They're thinking about it because it's 8-minute cooldown. You got to really think twice before buybacking.
Okay, guys, let's start talking about this matchup going into game two, because I think this is one of those rare situations where if there's one adjustment that you'd point to, it's actually on the winning team. As you look at the EGB.com odds at the bottom of the screen, Liquid, not surprisingly, the favorites. Well, actually, a little bit. Surprisingly, the favorites after that result.
Where can I sign up to work for EGB?
Yeah, there you go. Right, you bet on IG at those odds. But here's the thing, right? The one thing I can point to in that game is I think IG going forward needs better performances from OP. That's 2 games in a row that he's underperformed, and I think they were a little bit fortunate to be able to pull this one out. Liquid, maybe if they have the Tusk, the AoE save from the Snowball instead of the Grave from the Dazzle, they're a little better off. But I don't, if Liquid want to give them this draft again, I don't think Liquid, maybe with the exception of the Tusk for the Dazzle, are going to shy away from playing this lineup again.
This snowballing meta, the best spell you can have is a snowball, I guess.
Hey,
there you go.
Hey.
Well, game 2, as you can see, the draft is underway. IG going to stick to their guns, take out the Jakiro, and similarly, take out the Wisp, and similarly for Liquid, same bans here with the exception of they do not want to see this XXX
Bristleback
Enigma.
is in the pool. That's the problem right now.
Bristleback and Darkseer in the pool for Liquid. IG, the signature Magnus in the pool for XXS. So it looks like both teams may well have their signature offlaners on board for game 2.
I could see them very easily on Liquid going like Bristle Ogre as an opening. They did that earlier in the tournament, and I wouldn't mind seeing them try and switch things up a little bit.
Boy. And same opening pick from IG, the Kunkka, just as in game 1.
He feels confident. Look at him. He's just
Yeah,
sitting back. He's just. You saw there when they won the game, he like stood up and drunk the water in like a very triumphant fashion.
That's the Emperor, man.
He's got some
That's
swag.
what he does. Yeah, Burning, looking back at that storied career, all he needs to complete it is that the TI title, final gem in the crown.
I mean, other things that they could go for besides something like that, you know, they could open with like a Lycan if they wanted to. I still like the Ogre Bristle, but a lot of heroes here.
Yeah, Kuro taking his time with this open, a little bit unusual. I like the Tusk a lot. If IG are going to draft that Wombo combo lineup again, they are going to do the Bristle, the Mind Control Bristle. The Warlock is a surprise to me.
I think IG might go for DP straight away. It's good against Bristleback, it's good against Warlock. Just a good mid lane hero, and especially with both and Exorcism, that hero just doesn't die. If it's not picked by IG right now, it's going to be banned out by Liquid, definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that, especially because I feel like you need to get OP on a little bit more stable hero. A hero that's going to have, you know, that laning phase in the last game was relatively even, mostly because IG were able to get that deep first blood on Miracle's OD behind the dire tier 2 tower. It was Q's Lestrak coming in and scoring that kill, which really helped OP stay even on his Ember with the Miracle OD in the laning phase. But I don't want to see them put that at a disadvantage. And perfect call by Lacoste, the DP coming out from IG.
That's where you say easy.
Yeah, easy. EGB, call me later on.
Oh my goodness.
You know for sure who IG's gonna pick.
All right, I'm out.
10 seconds remaining.
For IG, I think they need a hero that can burn out mana, maybe a Jug, maybe even a Terror Blade for them with a Diffusal Blade against Bristleback, because that hero is pretty much useless and there's no mana regen on him. We saw he's going for Soul Ring, but that's not enough. Also, if Liquid decides to go for a good hero for Bristol, Crystal Maiden and Warlock is not that good of a duo.
Sort of tough, because I'm wondering if they try and run like a dual lane with the Bristleback like we've seen them occasionally do, or if this is going to be more around keeping that safe lane safe. I guess they can just depend it on what happens with the rest of the draft.
Well, Lycan's gotta go.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely on board with that.
Might be worried about the possible Lone Druid and Bristleback pairing that we've seen as well.
All right, Nyx Assassin banned out, so it might be. I don't see Ember here anymore. But okay, never mind. Dark Series banned out.
Yeah, that's Liquid saying pretty clearly, look, you guys didn't take that offlaner that we left on the table for XXS in the first phase. We're gonna take out the two most prominent offlaners in the second, and that's pretty fair. And there's the Lycan ban that you called for, Lacoste.
I think that IG probably want to go for a tide here, but Liquid, the Slardar pick, I guess it's pretty good for lockdown. He got a ton out of it in the early stages in the last game, and I think that pairs up well against the Kunkka.
Yeah, Liquid might go for Nyx here, a good vehicle for in Slardar. Also, he's good against DP, good against Kunkka, has rage, can dispel everything.
I could say something like a troll as well.
Yeah, I like the troll.
Maybe someone who's a more natural silver edge carrier as well for the Bristleback. I like the
I was saying
pick.
about Liquid, but you're right about IG's pick.
I think either team, honestly, could pick a troll here. I really like the attack speed interaction with both the Bristle and the Slardar. It gives you a lot of push. And the big thing, right, is you want to be able to get DP's a hero that just badly needs to live through fights. And with the Corrosive Haze on top of DP, the Troll ult just gives you a huge amount of physical burst damage to just get rid of her at the beginning of the fight. And there's really, it's much more difficult for her to itemize against that.
You had mentioned Troll for Jug for IG, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it for Liquid either, actually. I think that blowing up the DP there could be quite strong. The CM.
Go back to the QCM, run that with Bobakaz Kunkka.
Yeah.
They've shown that support look several times to great success.
It's a roaming duo we've seen. It's a non-item dependent roaming duo that doesn't need that much, and
Yeah.
it adds to the lane sustain for the Death Prophet as well. And it also allows them to see a little bit more of Liquid's draft before they kind of commit to that second core. It's important for them as well.
Lone Druid for Liquid. Yeah, I was thinking about that
Damn.
hero. And again, when you see that, it's the dead lane concept. When you see that Crystal Maiden and Kunkka coming out from IG, they like to pick that hero that they have to really commit at least those two, if not another hero on the rotation to gank.
IG needs to get back to that Lone Druid in the back line. Maybe something with a Shadow Blade that can upgrade into Silver Edge and is good against Bristleback. So maybe a
is the
Jug.
Weaver.
It's
You
Jug.
just
I don't know,
described the
I'm
troll though too, right?
yeah, Troll too. Yeah.
I mean, the traditional counter is the Weaver, right? Isn't that the old school way to do it? You're old school, right, Lacoste?
Old school. I don't know, Weaver against Slaughter. I'm
Yeah,
not a big
that's-
fan of
okay.
it.
Oh yeah. The XXS Legion Commander, I can't help but suspect that Liquid might have forgotten about that one.
Oh.
24-6 on that hero in his career.
I don't think teams were banning out Legion Commander. Legion Commander was not picked. Maybe one,
No, but-
2 games this patch that we saw in Shanghai.
No, but it's a classic counter to the Bristleback in the offlane
it's a-
position,
it's
right?
a
You force the
counter-
Bristle to face you.
Yeah, it's also counter to Slaughter as well.
Exactly.
But with the latest nerf to LC, I don't know. I mean, offlane is harder to play, and the Overwhelming Odds mana is gets what 10 per level.
Not sure. I mean, it all. I think the bigger thing is, like you said, the difficulty of that offlane, because you can't just go in there, put a bunch of points in Overwhelming Odds, contest the lane, spam out your mana pool, and then go Shrine.
Yeah.
So you might have to see this for more of a press the attack style of build and trying to just stay alive there. Or maybe even go back to Iron Talon. Let's do it.
No, I was looking at the stats this morning, and that's if you look at the top 25 highest win rate player hero combinations with 20 or more games all time, that 24-6 for XXS's Legion Commander, that's up there.
That's also like in the dynamic of an offlane that works well for it too.
Sure,
Yeah.
but I still feel like I don't think the nerf to this hero was significant enough that when you see at least one and probably 2 heroes that it counters very effectively on the other side, that you go away from that. And you've got Kunkka and Crystal Maiden that can help secure that Legion Commander of the early game in that lane as well.
If they do that, then you should definitely see like a really strong laning hero in the safe lane. I think that's what we want to see anyways.
Yep.
Out of IG.
I do wonder if Weaver is a viable choice for them.
Yeah.
You mentioned having some strength as a laner. In terms of control, like the Warlock is a bit static and kind of ulti dependent for the control aspect. Slaughter would have to be doing much of that on his own to be able to get to the Weaver, and you have something that can hit the Lone Druid Bear and the Bristleback in front without much fear of retaliation, or at least being able to protect that before the lines break. So I think it's a possible choice for them. I think they need some kind of a ranged
Maybe a
core here.
Shadowfiend and put the DP on a safe lane. In America, they love to play, especially NP, they love to play safe lane DP, but I don't think it's going to happen here. That's just one of the suggestions they could do. He's also a Silver Edge carrier.
I agree with Jack on the Weaver. I think that's the most autonomous safe lane hero left. But the Razor still sort of in that category.
This crowd is great. They love it. They're
Oh,
all
yeah.
over it.
It's a good pick, right? We saw it, tried it out last night against the Troll Warlord to great effect.
The last round.
10 seconds remaining.
I
Heroes
ran
to
this
blow up
yesterday.
DP.
Checks a couple of those boxes, being a strong laner, having the ranged kind of like frontline damage, and then a bit more durable, I guess, than the Weaver generally. So with less escape on his own, but more durable.
I mean, you're so I don't know. You're so tempted to just YOLO pick Invoker here because it's
Invoker,
Miracle.
or maybe even Puck, just for some extra control, does well against DP, not well, but does decent. Is not vulnerable to Kunkka's X and Spirit Siphon.
I think they need burst, like Alina. Because how are they going to kill off DP in them? Like, they just need Lone Druid to eat her up really quickly, but in the mid game, that's going to be so hard to deal with.
Yeah, I think Lena though really starts to suffer against Razor with the passive. But
What did Liquid think?
I wouldn't be totally shocked to even, I don't know if this is too greedy or not, maybe like a sniper or something.
Ooh.
There isn't too much
so
backline.
tough.
You'd have to worry about the roaming a little bit, but
The Tinker. Okay, that makes sense. Liquid want to have some control over the tempo of the game. The Razor and Death Prophet combo gives them very, very powerful early pushing potential. The Tinker does offer you some D-push in addition to that burst damage potential. Guys, only 2 out of our 10 series so far at this tournament have gone to a Game 3. I know we all want to see Game 3 in this one. Is it going to happen?
I don't think so. IG is, again, the support duo CM and Konka. I think it's just too strong early game. They don't need any items. And again, Liquid supports. Slardar, not that great. Early game Warlock, pretty much static on the lane. And Slardar needs to get into X, into Crystal Maiden Bite. I don't think he can do that much early game.
All right.
Also, Tinker vulnerable to ganks.
I actually like Liquid's draft here. I'm a pretty big fan of Lone Druid when they find a situation for it. I think this is a good one, and I think Liquid are going to be able to dominate the early push phase when they start taking objectives. I think that's going to work out for them this game.
I'll go with Liquid too. They checked the tick of the burst for the Tinker, so.
Well, I'm going to make it 3-1 for our panel yet again. I'm going to go a little bit here with my heart versus my head. Let's see Team Liquid here try to force a decisive Game 3 in our semifinals. One more time, out to Luminous and Merlini.
Thank you, Nahas. Yes, it's Luminous and Marini here. We're going to bring you guys Game 2 of...
Are you ready?
I am ready, dude. I'm stoked. IG versus a Team Liquid. This time I did not forget who we're casting here. And after that exciting game number 1, we got a pretty exciting Game 2 as well. So during the draft, we were kind of talking about it and watching it go through. I suggested Razor because they've leaned to Razor versus and DP together. And the one thing you said is Savage Roar. Like, that link is not going to be as guaranteed as what we've seen so far here from Burning, right?
Definitely not. But it does prevent a hero like Bristle from just running in and not giving a care in the world. He also has a lot of free link capabilities with X-Torrent and Frostbite and Duel.
Yep.
However, I don't think they have enough damage to kill the Death Prophet. I think an interaction here that hasn't been considered is the Spirit Link on the Bear.
Yep.
And you will just get tons and tons of HP off of that.
Oh, you mean the Soul Siphon?
Yeah, Soul Siphon.
Yeah.
So you can double link the Bear. Just throw out links everywhere, man. Just get Aether Lens and...
I mean, you only got 4, but yeah, I guess...
Static Link.
And sure. Yeah.
And X.
Links
Everyone's going to be linked to each other.
And the other point that you were making...
And Warlock? Oh my god.
Oh, those are the links. Those are all the links.
There's so many links.
They are all linked.
And we're missing Wisp, though.
We haven't gone deep enough. So... links on links on links. The other thing you mentioned is that the XSS LC is going to be the mid-game counter to the Bristleback, right? Face me and fight me. And also has access into Silver Edge down the line to break the Bristleback if that's ever a concern. So it seems like the panel has favored the Team Liquid draft, and I agree with them because every game I've casted with IG so far, they are slow out of the gates. And Lone Druid is one of those heroes that can be very threatening, around the 20-minute mark. So let's see if IG could, well, withstand the storm.
I don't think a Liquid's team fight is that great, though. As we saw last game, like IG have the strong team fight. They almost always have the stronger team fight. Kunkka, Death Prophet, might have burst, but dealing with Boat is going to be awful. And, of course, the Exorcism. Who's really team fighter on the side of Liquid? You just have Warlock, pretty much, who might just die.
It seems like a lot of Liquid's quote-unquote team fight is relying on catching one out and then chasing for more. And Slaughter obviously very good for that. We saw GH playing extremely well on the hero last game. And he'll need to repeat that this game.
XSS pretty light on the region, opting for that poor man's shield up on the top lane, and also doesn't have any moment of courage to heal himself back up. And I think, he's going to be harassed out very soon. No Shrine. Is he going to have to do the Walk of Shame right now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is the build that we saw a lot last patch, but the Shrine makes this build work. I think without the Shrine, it's not that good.
I think you probably have to get pulled to Tango, too. That would definitely help a lot. Oh, also, I think the level 1 press the attack might be better because you can purge off the Shadow Word.
Okay. It's very mana-intensive, though.
Yeah. But it's better to be out of mana than out of HP.
Oh, he's out of both, so he's going home now. Walk of shame. Maybe he'll wait for the rune. GH. Walking close. Now the problem with DP early on is that you only have the 1 point, or the one Spirit Siphon, so if you could force her to use it relatively early, you can make the dives much easier later on.
I don't think that Tinker can really force her into critical HP, though. Generally, Tinker, very good mid laner, but versus Death Prophet, who has an easy way to heal back up, it's not going to be an option. And GH looking for the easy kill, but not there.
It depends on what build Miracle went for. Last time he played the hero, he just maxed laser rockets, and he was actually getting a lot of surprising kills on the mid lane, especially now that GH is constantly harassing there as well. It could be a possibility. Oh my god, that laser.
He won't be able to link up with the Spirit Siphon, and he is pretty close to that kill threshold. OP.
Yeah. Oh, Spirit Siphon will come through GH. Take a couple of hits here. Interesting to see Boboka select Tidebringer as his second skill of choice here.
Tidebringer helps a lot with the denies. I think if he wants to put a lot of pressure on the Death Prophet, or sorry, on the Tinker, you're not really going to be able to get that many kills perhaps with X, so opting for more lane control with the Tidebringer and more harass is not a bad option for him.
I mean, I agree with your point, but had he had X when Slaughter missed that crush, maybe with a Spirit Siphon they could have...
They don't have enough damage. He went level 2 with Spirit Siphon, so it's...
Oh, then yeah, not the narrow to nuke, yeah.
Yeah. I still am a little surprised he didn't go X, especially because he has a Crystal Maiden on his team this game.
Yeah.
So have more access to the manas.
It's a different look, but that's fine. Burning now rotating on the left side. They're going to try to set up a kill on Mind Control. Torrent's going to be good. I think this for sure, this is where X is going to be good, but will not have it available. Mind Control drags a quick way further away. Bubblecutt's got to be careful here. The Quill Spray is stacking. I think he's only like 1 Quill Spray stack. Yeah, that, damn, he had 5 stacks on him. Not respecting the power of the Bristleback. And now Crystal Maiden need to have some fancy footwork. Will get crushed. Mind Control on the back line here, just applying the Quill Spray. TP out. Should make it home here by Q. That was close, though.
I got to respect the Bristleback, man.
Yep.
Mind Control had it so that he was about to spray when they first went on him, too. I don't know if he actually timed that, but that was... It looked like the case for that. So OP skipping over bottle. There will be a DD turned into Invis on top. XSS still struggling a little bit in terms of being able to stay in lane.
So the last couple of times we've seen Mind Control on the Bristleback, he has gone for a mech early build to sustain the push for the team. Do you feel like that's going to be the build this game to help out the Lone Druid push, or do you think he's going to go a little bit more traditional?
I think he needs armor this game above all else.
So early Solar Crest?
Solar Crest, mech, medallion, Halberd not so much because of Death Prophet not being able to evade it, but it still might be pretty good because he might be dueling LC a lot in this scenario, but along those lines.
Okay.
I think Solar Crest is also incredibly good for the Bear when you're sieging high ground or
for
sieging towers.
For sure.
How many points in laser?
Yeah, can you check his skill build? Is he
3-2-0-0?
I'm telling you, Miracle has been liking this max laser rocket build, especially pressuring the mid lane. GH comes around. This could be a kill here. OP does not get off the second link just yet, but he has the infused raindrops, and that is going to be for sure a guarantee of survival. Not going to get a kill or anything, but...
Yeah, they're already having some trouble killing the Death Prophet, and it looks like the Observer Ward was placed first by Liquid, so they will have the upper edge when it comes to the D-Ward Wars.
Yep.
D-Ward Wars.
I do believe Death Prophet is 100% in this tournament so far.
Really?
Yeah. It's, well, sample size like 3 or something. But
it's still pretty good.
Yeah, it seems like it's a hero that at least the Chinese teams have been favoring quite a bit. Bottom lane here, Mind Control stacking on Burning. Threatening for the kill. Torrent. Not going to have a good look at it. Burning going to go for the Hannah Midas as per usual. Last time he had a Tranquil Boots. And I remember I was somewhat confused by that. And we'll see if he does go back for it this time around.
A lot of trouble for XSS.
Yeah.
As this creep skip is causing him a lot of trouble and experience.
Oh, GH is going to rotate around again. I do believe Pressy Attack is still on cooldown right now.
He doesn't have boots yet on LC.
Meanwhile, OP finds a solo kill, diving the tier 2s. All right.
Well played, sir. Well played.
I mean, a little bit of resonance, miss camera there. I would like to see that play, but
He was at the T2.
yeah.
That's far.
Matumba Man does take down the tier 1. No surprise there. And, you know, ever since the new patch, I was thinking if LC is one of those heroes that got hurt the most by the lacking the shrine. It seems like, at least in this game, he's not faring well.
That's okay. They didn't necessarily pick him for defending the tower. It's not going to be as strong as, like, let's say the Enigma. But that is already a Midas for Matumba Man, so he is very farmed.
I mean, they picked him for, like, mid-game utility reasons, but he needs items to do all the stuff that they picked him for, right? Mid lane Miracle, though, might actually go down. Q in position. Frostbite's going to be there, and that is going to be a kill. Q not going to go down. So important that most of Death Prophet's damage output is not in her physical attack. So laser normally a very good defensive mechanism for the Tinker when he's being gone on like that. Very useless in that situation.
But it's really bad when you go for 3 points on laser and you still lose your lane.
Right. Which is, I mean, yeah, like you said, there's no jungle recovery now.
1 point in March, though. And he also wasn't able to spend his gold. So those 2 deaths cost him pretty heavily. He wasn't able to itemize into, let's say, a soul ring to get rid of his extra unreliable gold at the start. And that's painful.
You still have to rush the BOT, right? I guess maybe
some people get soul ring first because if you're just farming neutrals, you want the soul ring so you can rearm the.
Right. Well, his build prevents him from doing that because of the max laser.
Well, now
rockets.
he can just go max March, but it looks like he has actually committed to going for max laser. Even at level 7, he still goes for the laser.
You know, despite the fact that Miracle has died now twice in the mid lane, I think the laning stage for Team Liquid overall is still okay. They're winning top heavily. I think they're also doing extremely well bottom. Like, Burning has farm, but I think Mind Control is getting a lot more than what he should be getting in this lane.
However, Mind Control hasn't been able to stack that much. There is only 1 stack at the Ancients over there. But Boca in a little bit of trouble.
Okay. X Torn right back here. But I think instead of stacking, getting hero kills is also a pretty good replacement.
They tried to get the X so that he could max out the link, but that was not happening. I don't think so. Not with 10 stick charges in his inventory.
Burning, hanging out. So if you're IG here, what are you exactly afraid of? That bear is big. Is it going to be an early mid-game timing push here from Team Liquid?
It's hard to fight in a Death Prophet ultimate. I think you need to concentrate on limiting the Death Prophet's effectiveness in this game. Maybe take fights.
Oh, not going to get the kill. Oh, yes, he will. Burning. Of course, the static link does give you a vision on the hero, so he was able to chase and get that one last hit off. Of course, the Plasma Field also helped with that, but Burning will try to run away. Matumba Man ports in to try to get the kill. Slaughter was
still bought before. Yep. No problem.
I mean, I guess so.
It's a big deal not losing that net worth. It's only a 300 net worth gain for Liquid. Yep. And if they get this tower, it will be a bit more.
They might get Bobica as well here. The bear looking for a route.
They do have the X Torrent available to them. No boat yet.
This rotation will give XSS a little bit of breathing room up top here to catch up on farm. But here comes the rotation of IG. OP position. Q looking for the long wraparound. This is...
They need to spread themselves out so they don't get destroyed by Savage Roar, and they're circling in around Matumba Man. This is going to be a very tough gank for him to escape.
Here we go. We're going to have the silence on top as well. The bear could still cast Savage Roar if they want to do so. X-Torn back. Great positioning by IG, like you mentioned. Just shark around, but never making sure that it's going to be a 2-3-man Savage Roar.
They're trying to position themselves so that even if you do get Savage Roar, they still run into the Lone Druid.
Right, because you run closer to your base. So
yeah, that was really smart play from IGN. They'll get a little bit of tower damage from the Exorcism, but there's not really that much time left for them. And Burning will see the Ancient Prowlers again. Yay, Ancient Prowlers. Yay.
Oh, we got instant replays. The tech. All right, we missed this kill. Here we go. Miracle getting dove on the mid lane. Oh, it was an Exorcism committed for the kill as well. What a high skill kill. You see how he just walked after him with a Soul Siphon and right-clicked.
Still bold. Got to dive into that D2, man.
I mean, that was. I think simultaneously there was a fight happening elsewhere, so he knows there's no TP support coming in.
Yeah. Do you really want to fight in an Exorcism? I think if someone TPs in, you just die as well.
You mean from Team Liquid's perspective, they don't want to TP in?
No.
Yeah.
Unless you can slow him and run away, but they don't really have that option. I guess maybe GH. So now Lone Druid Razor, neck and neck in net worth. The big sufferer here is old Tinker, who is having to hoof it. You don't want to walk around as Tinker. That's no fun. And he wants some Ancient Prowlers, but he has not got any Ancient Prowlers.
Yep. I mean, his teammates have been stacking very vigorously for him, but unfortunately he's unable to take the stacks. And now IG sending yet another gank party, perhaps to mid.
Man, uh-oh.
Ooh, Nova's going to give him the vision, but IQ, yeah, he's going to wait for his team to get in position. Are they going to X him? No.
Wow.
Decides against it.
Actually
Interesting.
not going for that kill. Too close to the shrine, perhaps. That was... I thought they were going to go for that for sure.
Yeah.
But without the boat, it doesn't seem like they want to go for that kill. I wonder who they were looking for then. If maybe it was just to get
Tinker?
a reserve ward.
Tinker was showing mid. I don't know.
Yeah, Tinker would have been, I think, an easier kill because you don't have to deal with the roar. But now he does have his BOTs up. Soul Ring coming up next.
Yep.
But they are already in that area. Oh, they're trying to jack the Bristleback as he sacks the Ancients. That's why they went.
Okay.
It's only a 2-stack, but it's about to be 3.
I mean, getting that ward there is super important because they're going to be spending either time to have the Tinker or the Bristleback to farm there. So the next smoke gank is going to be the key one here for IG.
Yep. They need Exorcism, though, I think, to win that fight convincingly over there. No one really wants to get close to Death Prophet. So Bristleback did itemize for the Vanguard early. Vanguard is... I'm not sure if I like the Vanguard so much here because it doesn't block the Exorcism Spirits.
No.
Also, against a hero like Razor, he hits so hard with the Link that the damage block is a very small percentage of the damage that you are going to be taking.
Well, Savage Roar will be used here.
Oh,
but they X the bear.
Radiant's middle
Back you go.
tower is under attack.
It might just be a necessary evil to help yourself survive against, let's say, LC a little bit later on.
But isn't armor still as effective?
I think so.
Yeah, I guess LC hits a lot of small hits, so it is very good for LC. They're trying to push, but it's very awkward as Tinker in an offensive position.
Well, at the very least, it's forcing a lot of rotation from IG as well. They're also not doing anything. Press the attack, jumping back in. The duel is going to be there and now, but I'm not sure whether the duel is going to be good. The rock's going to be there, but the bow on top of it as well. XSS will survive at least in the initial half of the engagement. Defensive Yule Scepter is going to come out. Crystal Maiden Ultimate. What a perfect position. Let it go, my friend. Let it go. Kuro on the back line will get X. The max X here from Boboka will make them pay again. Liquid lose 3. Boboka moving forward. X coming off cooldown, surprised that there was no further chase. But
it's because the boat buff is wearing off.
Oh, true.
That's
true,
something
true.
that you always have to be concerned about, especially when you have fatal bonds on you. You can just get tons of extra kills. So that boat was huge. It won him the duel because it looked like
it was going to die.
He was going to die. But yeah, the boat buff is just incredibly good for that scenario. And of course, with the duel, you're forced to fight into Exorcism, which is never really what you want to happen.
Yeah. It seems like the draft is, well, blink forward here. XSS, does he have to duel? No, the Marcher Machine. In fact, Laser Rocket's going to be a big one. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right.
I always like seeing players thread the march. It's a hard play to make.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, Liquid is now doing the stack, but of course, IG's got eyes on this. Can actually make the punish. Burning already in position. Driving them away. The Shrine will get activated.
It's also really unfortunate that he had 2 armor creeps, too. Armor is Bristleback's worst enemy.
Boboka coming in position as well. I think Q might just be dead. Frostbite's going to be good, but he is going to get crushed. And he should be chased down here. Press the attack, keeping him alive a little bit longer here. Okay, there's an X back on mind control as well. Save Private. Crystal Maiden's going to be fine on the back line here. Burning, zones out the Slaughter. Gets a kill. They have a silence and an X. Blinking forward. Give me the duel. Give me the bow. Everything on top. And that is going to be a kill. IG playing phenomenally here on game 2.
That teamwork, though, to save your Crystal Maiden. How many teams would do that? Normally, it's like, screw you, Crystal Maiden. You got vision for us? Great.
Good
We're
job.
done with you.
You cast your spells, you know. You got your Frostbite and Nova off, but
press the attack, plus raindrops. Man, poor Miracle. He went for an offensive build, but now he maxed out March, and maybe he's like, man, I should have gotten Rockets.
Yeah.
Actually, he needed it to farm up, but they were able to make away with most of the stack. So Bristleback did still come out with a pretty penny after that, but with more dual damage going under LC's belt and more net worth in favor of IG and XP. This XP graph is actually looking pretty ugly. XP is 6,000 in favor of IG.
I mean,
That's
the scary thought is that Burning, for the most part, had just a Midas and boots, right? Now he has a Yasha, but his Midas is now going to start to kick in. I think these team fights could even get even more lopsided in the favor of IG.
Also, a lot of these heroes have troubles dealing with the unstable current. Do you really want to goo him? That's because if you're gooing him, you're facing him, and you're going to get purged. And then Tinker, if you laser him, you're going to be stuck in place for a few seconds, which is not good. Amplify also, you might not be able to follow up with a stun. So the unstable current here is of huge value. I don't know whether you get the unstable current damage over the cast range at level 15, but I think this game, you should consider it. That Observer Ward is still up there. Mind Control without that.
Duel, that's going to be available. And Q, let it rip here. Crystal Maiden Ultimate. That is going to be a kill. Bolt, the celebratory bolt comes in.
And you really do have to respect Q as a captain, like devising this anti-Bristleback strategy.
Yep.
Because Bristleback was a key to Liquid's success early, but Bristleback's useless if you're forced to attack. Bristleback and Axe, the only two heroes that can make you do that.
Yeah. OP will defend the mid tower as well.
Oh, the medallion. Such a good build here.
Yeah, it seems like in a lot of these Chinese Death Prophet builds, it's always Yules into Solo Crest. They just love it. Yesterday, they had a little bit of change, Yules into a pipe, but that was because of a magic damage game. So, like you said, I mean, armor is very important in this game.
So looking at items for Team Liquid, Lone Druid has been quiet for quite some time, but Radiance is coming out in just 500 or 600 gold. So that's definitely what they need to push some towers, take some objectives, force IG to back down from some of these team fights they are so willing to take. That is 24 damage for LC already. I guess it's not that much, but it's going to be a problem if he gets more and more farm because he just makes quick work of Bristleback. And if they ever get their hands on Tinker, and Blade Mail is also a big issue too. You don't want him getting these items.
I'm really impressed with the way that XSS recovered, considering his laning start, right? He was forced back to the base multiple times. His skill build level 4 was 112, like he was jungling for the most part. And yet, still having a huge impact in this mid game here, having that Blink Dagger.
Systematically taking out the T1 towers.
XSS running through that march.
If they Yules him, then he's dead. Yules is Tinker's worst enemy, I think. It's just incredibly difficult to escape after you get Yules, so just have to be very precise with your positioning, very elusive. Manta style first gets rid of Fatal Bonds.
And the Corrosive Haze.
Corrosive Haze. Very good at tanking rockets and getting rid of the laser debuff.
Okay.
And getting rid of Goo. And if you're high skill plays, you can dodge Savage Roar.
I mean, I thought for sure it was an SMY coming out, considering, you know, it fits the tempo of this game so far. It gives a lot what Razor wants anyways. The MAME is really helpful too.
I think with Crystal Maiden, you have the option of casting Manta a lot more often than you'd be able to normally.
True.
So, yeah, you'd actually have pretty big mana issues if you didn't have CMR. But yeah, I do like the Manta style here. So many things to dispel. And you can also potentially save Crystal Maiden by putting some illusions in front of her.
Sure. Or use the illusion to block her if you don't micro it well, you know. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
OP already working towards the Octarine. The bear gets X'd. And I think this is where the bear does not make it out alive. I say that though, they're missing a lot of these spells.
Yeah, you missed Torrent.
Oh, X him again. That's a lot of gold, dude.
And XP. And they're right next to Roche. But yeah, with the Radiance and the bear dying that quickly, that's not a good sign. How are they actually going to protect this bear? They're already having enough trouble protecting their other heroes. Now they have another liability, potentially.
You know, I had a very different outlook of how this game would go. Just based on the draft, I thought by this stage of the game, it was Radiance bear hitting tier 2s and then threatening to hit tier 3s, but IG protecting their outer towers extremely well. Miracle is doing what he can to split push, and he is going to accelerate his own farm.
I think the thing about it is they have plenty of spells that they can just waste on the bear.
Yeah.
Firstly, you have tons of mana because of Crystal Maiden. You have 4 Spirit Siphon links generally, and you can use one to kill the bear. And the bear is of way more importance than the prior range lone sniper build.
Lone sniper build, yeah.
Because the bear then was just vision and rooting and roar, but now it's the majority of your damage with the Radiance. So you're definitely okay with casting a lot of spells on it. And he did go for 250 health talent on Lone Druid, but that does not help his bear at all. He might need to take all the bear talents this game.
Yeah, we might see
Maybe
that.
not the bear damage, but
Boboga on the mid lane here. Starting to get Ghoul up here. XSS will let loose the overwhelming odds. X on the bear again, but it looks like this Tier 1 tower will go down. Q, gotta be very careful with positioning. Duel happening on the front line here. The Rock and the Boat flying out simultaneously. Will they win the duel? Yes, they will. The Link on mind control on the back line. They're running through an upheaval. No cure in the world. They get the 2 kill. Kuroki canceling the upheaval. Kuro on the way back. They're down 10 kills now. And surprisingly, only 1,000 net worth.
Liquid tried to... They try to switch up the way that IG took the fight. They don't want the Bristleback to get dueled, so they had the Lone Druid stand out in front in bear form. But the problem is, then they just kill the Lone Druid.
The Blade Mail, yeah.
Well, the Lone Druid doesn't do that much of the Blade Mail, but it's just that they just threw everything on him.
Yep.
And Bristleback's so far behind because he doesn't want to get dueled. He had the mech, but they're going to need a lot more items. They need Solar Crest. Solar Crest is incredibly good versus duel, but then you have to worry about like the boat damage, the exorcism. There's just a lot of single target coming out from them, and all of Liquid's damage is not bursty enough. Fatal Bonds takes quite a while to actually kill people. Tinker is kind of bursty, but he is not overfarmed at this point. Lone Druid Radiance is very slow damage, and Bristleback also takes a lot of time to ramp up, so they're having a lot of troubles. Killing people on the side of IG, especially when you have a boat buff and the heal buff and Spirit Siphon press the attack. There's all these spells that they need to worry about. But with that Exorcism, looks like Roshan should go down for free. On the
face
side
check
of Liquid.
by Q. That is a brave wave to check the Roche, and he gets punished for it. Well, actually, they don't care that Crystal Maiden just died. They're going to just fight this. XSS, press the attack.
There's a lot of marches
that's
there.
a hard one to fight into. Blink Dagger on XSS is back and ready. He can technically jump in and make something happen. Jump in? No, nothing. QH was also preparing to crush. XSS now on the high ground. All right.
Yep, they're probably going to need BKBs pretty soon. Raids are actually going for Heart next. So just going to straight up tank the marches.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unusual build.
Definitely very unusual build.
He did go for Unstable Current. So he is going for the tanky build, which I do like. I think like Link's okay here, but it's not amazing. If you're versus like Lifesteal and stuff like that, it's pretty good, but it's just okay here.
It's like a different context compared to when they picked it against Troll Warlord. I think that's where the game you want to max Link, because he's picked for the anti-carry purpose, right? Here, he's just a very strong frontliner that threatens the positioning of the Bristleback, the Bear, and even the Tinker if he's not careful.
Yeah, Tinker has to worry about dagoning him as well. So every time, it's what, 260 damage? That's a lot from just casting a spell on someone. It's like almost as much damage as your spell does.
and you know, Razor gets it for free. As we
just
say
don't
here,
cast spells on him.
I mean, Razor doesn't mind that either. But IG gotta be worried about the base here, because the base is open on the bottom side. Mind Control sitting in the front line. X is available. Glyph forcing out as well. Link duel. Here we go here. The Rock and the Bow again drop simultaneously. The Crush is going to be a good on top as well. XSS might be a little bit short. The mech's going to come through. Burning, taking a ton of that damage. Mind Control will lose the Aegis. Crystal Maiden ultimate on the backline. Uncancelled. Do a ton of that damage. And as a result, letting OP run straight in. Gets 2 kill. Mind Control away from his team. Isolated. And I think he's going to get absolutely controlled. He's going to go for the Crystal Maiden. Oh, just kidding. Crystal Maiden's going to go down. Why is OP running away? He's only got 1 stack on him.
How did Q get in that position?
I'm not sure. He has no blink, right? I'm not like...
No, he does not have blink. He just walked in there and owned them with the ultimate.
Like, there was a rock before that, right?
Yeah.
Did he rock?
They rocked during the
Maybe he ran
duel.
from the north side?
Yeah, he probably ran from the north side, but that's still crazy good positioning from Q. And after the rock, there's actually not that many. You don't really want to raise Savage Roar, and his Bear wasn't even positioned to do so.
And I think Slardar also dropped his stun. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, as a Crystal Maiden here, you just wait out those 2 disables, and you just go.
That was pretty sick.
Yep.
Big Crystal Maiden plays without any items. And that was the Aegis push coming out from Liquid, and that tower damage is not substantial. 80% HP on that bottom T3. IG are going to be happy about this as they push forward to the mid game.
I mean, give me a percentage here for Team Liquid, because it feels like even though there's only 1,000 net worth difference, it feels like they're really in big trouble.
I'd probably say 40%.
40% to win.
I still think they have a lot of upside with, like they're farming very well, I would say, on the Lone Druid and the Tinker. They both come back quite nicely. The problem is that they have to. I don't know if Razor's at that point where you can ignore him. Like he doesn't have extraordinary amounts of damage. Manta Heart is not a damage dealing build. It's a tank build. And what do you do against tanks? You usually ignore them.
Right.
But are they going to be able to ignore him in the fights? I'm not exactly sure. But if they can kill everyone else, if they can outlast the Death Prophet, I think it's just more of a game of kiting. If they get more Force Staffs, then they can break the Link, and that's an easier task of ignoring Burning.
Sure.
And you can also break the Spirit Siphon, so your Bear stays alive. If you can survive the duel, I think is going to be the main thing. They need everything they can to buff up the hero that gets dueled. This means Crimson Guard, Lotus Orb not so important, so Crimson Guard, Solar Crest, Pipe,
Sure.
Glimmer Cape, like everything needs to be thrown on these heroes.
Anything that you could get, put it on. Shadow Word, if you could cast it on time, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But Burning, though, is going to amp up his damage next. Aghanim Scepter is going to be his choice here.
So yeah, now he's focusing more on damage because he knows that he is...
Wait, the Blink Duel. Are they going to go right on the Bristleback? Yes, they do. No respect whatsoever for his tankiness. And the bolt's going to come out. Actually, on the Ram, Mind Control will survive for now. The Mech and Crimson both pop. And they're going hard for the Bristleback. This is really not the play. Actually, deep within the Shrine, they X him back, and they're going to still go for him. OP is still within the middle of everything, gets the press save attack buff. They see Miracle on the high ground. Miracle gets X, and he's just killed. The Bear also goes down. Do they have a resummon for Bear? Burning is in under the tier 2. He doesn't care. He's killing the whole team. They have yet another X for the Bristleback. The Bristleback is going to come back. A lot of damage being drained. Burning going off right now. Burning. Right click, for dead. The Wrath of God, destroy all heroes, and they don't have buyback. Holy crap.
And he has Heart, so they can just keep going right there. He had Arcane Rune that fight, so he had a Link, I think, before his Link was even
over. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
He has his own backup.
Yeah.
I guess Arcane Rune, OP.
Also, Tinker was that's a very difficult position as a Tinker to go in. Yep. As soon as they can see you with Plasma Field, Torrent, Nova, yeah, that. And they caught him, they disabled his blink, and he just died up there. And there's also continuous damage. Normally, when you're in that position, you can rearm and then blink out. But when you have Spirit Siphon on you, with that constant damage tick, or I have the Storm, which ticks very quickly, you're not going to be able to blink out. So he has to be very careful about his positioning. You cannot blink out like that. And the chances just dropped, probably 15%. That's not good. That's not a good sign.
It's hard to just single out Miracle's play there, because to me, I think this is a very tough game for him to play well. Like you said, there's so many Vision hero on the side of IG. And oh my god, XSS.
Yeah.
What a close
I'm not saying it's an easy game for him, but he has to play perfectly if Liquid want to pull this out.
Yeah.
You have to keep accruing massive amounts of net worth. You need to get that huge amount of burst so that you can kill the Death Prophet while she's Spirit Siphoning. That's what they need to get to. But in that particular fight, she was Spirit Siphoning with her Octarine Core, and she was at like 70% the whole time.
There was a press attack on her as well.
Yeah.
I thought he wasn't too deep. He was in the middle of 4 or 5 heroes. And then he's like, nah, man, I got enough HP regen.
And you have to think about them picking the Lone Druid into the Death Prophet. And that extra, like, your Bear is useless if you have to run away with it. You're not getting any Radiance burn, and Radiance doesn't even do that much versus the Heart Razor and the Octarine Death Prophet to begin with. But if you're running away, you're doing even less. Bad news Bears.
Bad news Bears indeed. Generally, Matumba Man, when they pick the Bear, they generally pick it in a scenario where it's very good. And it might look like that in a draft where, if you are being on defensive, it's definitely quite good. But
I think they wanted a tower hitter.
Yeah. But as we see here in the actual fights, it's doing very little.
Yep. Whereas IG have 2 tower hitters that have fit very well into their lineup. And Liquid, they still have better Roshan potential, I would say. But I think their chances are slimming down as they cannot really approach a team fight from IG at all. Everyone's just worried about getting dueled and dying. Everyone has to run away from the Death Prophet, who's just linking up everyone with... Yeah, it's quite nasty.
Yeah. And I do believe with the finished Aghanim Scepter, Burning has enough items to really lead his team to a high ground push if the opportunity presents itself.
Yep.
No
He
need
has
to
4,000 HP. He went for 400 health at level 20.
So Heart gives you HP, Axe gives you HP, and the Manta even.
Yep, and 400 health.
What is his armor?
He has 18 armor.
Okay.
That's a lot of armor.
Respectable.
He has the 15 agility talent for a little bit of extra armor. But that is crazy. Death Prophet has 29 armor of her own. But look at that. 3995 HP with 300 HP regen a second.
He's going AC next. Like he's gonna say, look, let's make sure that armor is, in Gali territory.
This is it from them. They do have
All right.
an Observer War on the back line. If they can somehow catch these squishy heroes, OP does not have Exorcism popped.
They just picked up AC on the bear as well, so that's a sizable increase in their damage output. Liquid on the move. GH trying to get some sight on them. It's going to be a 2 good man crush. Okay. 2.
Yeah, good luck jumping Burning. It looks like he's kind of low, but he has still 2,700 HP left. Yeah. Another thing about dueling the Bristleback is he can't cast his Quill Sprays. You're not taking damage from the back, and you're also not able to cast.
Yep.
So he is very useless. Normally, if you're taking damage as a Bristle, you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. I'm still doing tons of damage with my Quill Spray. But in this particular situation, like he might need to get like a Lincoln Spear or something like that to not get dueled. It's getting to that point.
I mean, it's so easy to break that Lincolns with an X. Bobica has been on point.
It
so
is.
I'm not sure if that's the end all be all. And re-smoke up here for Team Liquid. This is a position that perhaps IG is not expecting. OP is...
Do you really want to take a fight on their Shrine, though? I guess... the thing is, they have the boat buff to be able to get into there. OP is wondering where the hell they are right now.
Oh, this is the biggest wraparound of all time. Q on the back line here. This is going to be a good pick here. Crystal Maiden perhaps getting the vision. He gets a glimmer on himself. They can't fight this. Blink duel happening on the Slaughter, so maybe Mind Control could finally do something. Rocket Laser flying out. This is looking okay so far for Team Liquid. The bolt does hit on a couple of hero, but on the back line here comes the Razor. He's feared. He's being pushed away right now. Still looking okay, but man, both DP and Razor still relatively healthy. Everyone's trying to disengage Bristleback. No way out. He is going to get brought down. 2 deaths so far here for Team Liquid. Okay, it's looking decent here. Liquid Miracle, and somehow, some way,
Mind Control got like 3 sprays off at the very end.
how he's still alive, and now they're going to go on Bobica. Bobica's going to get caught. It's going to be 5 for 1 trade.
That duel onto the Slaughter just let Mind Control go crazy in that fight. That damage that he did was just astronomical. I guess not even compared to Tinker. How much damage did Tinker do? 6,000?
Tinker was not dealt with at all, right? He's got the Aghanim Scepter, so 4 rockets, 4 laser, and he was just like, yeah, man, I'm a spellcaster.
That was the smoke play right there.
Yep.
But yeah, they didn't even kill the Slaughter during the duel. That's how bad it was.
Yeah, where the hell was the damage? Like, I don't think Razor was there at the beginning of the fight, which might have been a problem. But
yeah, they do lack damage with this build of the Razor and with this build of the Death Prophet. They don't have that much damage, especially if he isn't able to link up anyone. If the fight was too hectic for him to be able to link, you don't really want to link the dual target if it's a starter because he should theoretically die too quickly.
Oh, if we could get Benwu, the mathematician, to give me a percentage again, I say, the number is going back up a little bit here for Team Liquid. They're not out of the woods just yet. I think Team Liquid is still much weaker as a lineup.
They need way more armor on the side of IG. They need Pipe for sure. That's coming out on Boboka. They need a Vlad's, I would say, from maybe XSS maybe. And then looks like there's a Shiva's on OP. And then AC coming out on Burning would be the play for them. But at the same time, maybe you want a refresher up on Razor. But the thing is, they took so many Quill Sprays. They were probably at like 7 or 8, maybe even higher stacks of Quill Sprays.
XSS gooed up right now. Crystal Maiden will glimmer himself. Oh, and he got rooted. They have vision on him. Crystal Maiden. Oh, Matumba Man, really awkward position here. I think this is the fight. They're going to duel the bear instead. The boat's going to fly out as well. A lot of people being stunned by that boat, and now they will get 1 dead. That is the bear. Mind Control linked up. He's also X'd up. He's going to get brought back here as well. Kuro will be the first one to go down here. Mind Control maybe could run out with the Gusta. No, great press the attack. They now X up GH. Yule Scepter on the right side as well will find himself. Mind Control going to get chased down. He's gaining a ton of HP back thanks to the Vanguard, but not enough. Gonna get brought down. Everyone's missing the ghost. No, they don't take him down. perhaps Mind Control has reached the critical mass of HP where he won't die in these fights unless he specifically gets dueled.
They also need a Silver Edge, I would say, to break him so that he just doesn't spray. They can't chase uphill like that into the Tinker, into the Bristleback. Still a pretty good fight for them. The duel came out on a much better target for them in killing the Lone Droid. He also had the cheese. So if they didn't kill him in that duel, and if they didn't duel him at all, that could have been potentially disastrous for IG.
I think the duel itself was also very risky because if you don't kill him during that duel, you commit your best lockdown spell. You know.
Well, he doesn't have BKB, so it's very unlikely that he should be able to
get out of a chain stun.
Because they can also just silence him. That's
Sure.
so long. 6 seconds. Good luck. But yeah, they need a little bit more damage on the. I'm trying to think about who should get Refresher in this situation. Looks like Legion Commander is going for a Halberd of all items. That's a little bit
Who are you trying to disarm?
That's what I was wondering.
That Warlock right click, man.
Disarming the Lone Druid doesn't do that much. Disarming with Mind Control, I guess, is pretty decent, but usually you're just trying to ignore it.
Success on the backline now. This time finds it, and now he's going to get the right tool. The bolt, torn, everything's flying out. Two-man stun. GH blinks into it, and Mind Control will die, but that's just his Aegis. I think more of a problem on the backline is GH dying. I don't think they could take a long fight. Mind Control continues to spray Crystal Maiden left for dead here by himself. I think they still want to take this fight. Burning's going to be in the fight. Lotus Orb is... Nope, he's going to get the quick kill here on the Warlock on the left side. And now Mind Control's on the run, but Boboka should have the easy X on him if they want him. Do they want him? Torrent giving a little bit of vision. They find the Tinker! Tinker getting caught. Boboka with the huge plays. Mind Control now coming back in the fight, coming alive, trying to do a 1v4 situation. The Bearman on the backline as well. They will get the Kunkka kill. Burning suddenly all by himself. I don't know if he's going to actually win this fight. His ultimate doing quite a bit of damage. He needs his support control. And this is the slowest escape ever. The Radiance Bird, the Shiva's Guard doing quite a bit of work, allowing them to gain some distance away. And looks like they are going to be able to retreat.
The unstable current, Michael's trying to goo him, and then he's like, wait, I can't catch up to him with this.
Yep.
What a torrent coming out from Kunkka right there. That was huge.
Had he actually not found that torrent, I think Team Liquid wins that fight, retaining the Tinker core. But
that was a fight with the Aegis. Tinker is coming in hot on the bear. 20 seconds left. Up on the respawn timers for 2 of IG's heroes.
Okay, Savage Roar will push him away from the Link. The Link breaks here. They want to go into the base. OP in the front line. OP, I believe his ultimate should be coming off relatively soon.
Matama Man waiting for the very last moment for that cheese.
Okay, it's going to be fine right now. That bear, though, should go down with a couple more right clicks and a nuke or two, but they did get the tier 3. That means shrines are open now. Team Liquid, despite being down by 9 kills right now, ahead in net worth and ahead in this game, I believe.
Yeah, now Tinker has gotten to the point where he just does a ton of damage if left alone. His net worth is very, very high after being, I think it was in 4th place for quite some time, and these shrines are getting mowed down by Matama Man on Mind Control.
Oh, Blink BKB duel right now. Great Fear pushing away the DP, but I'm not sure whether that's going to be enough to save him. GH on the back line. Defensive force that will come out. Mind Control, though, trying to run. They do take down the Ray boss. And now moving forward, OP says, that's a free kill on the left side. We'll take him. Kuro, you're going to be the one going down. But look at all the rockets. They're flying out. Everyone is bonded up. They're all going to go down. Tinker on the hunt here. Blink Crush on the back line. They find Burning as well. Burn a Mantisile. Okay, he's getting blocked up right now. Popping that BKB as well. Actually doing quite a bit of damage on GH here. He wants to go back in, but he's controlled up right now. Burning. Well, he's going to get burned down by that Radiance. He's going to go down. 4 dead.
Tinker,
Team Liquid has taken flight.
Tinker had Arcane Rune that fight, and he was able to catch them at the tail end of the boat buff, and they got destroyed once that boat buff came down. And you can see how big of a problem the Bristleback is here. I'm still surprised that they have not gone for any sort of Silver Edge.
I mean, I'm going to say that disarm purchase on the XSS.
That's
almost a disarm, right? Or sorry, not disarm. That's almost a break if you want to buy it, right? But
that's rough. Now this Rax is almost certainly going to fall. Burning does not have buyback.
X-Torn Bolt, defensive force staff is going to be there. The Blink duel now. I'm not sure if this is the fight. GH comes in. The blind's going to be there protecting him. And now it's going to be, I believe, okay, BKB activated. And they do take down the bear. All right, surprisingly, in a turn event, they will kick down Matumba Man. And great earn here, preventing the Blink. And that should be a kill on GH. Yeah, great tie bring here at Bubblegum.
So how many heroes bought back there? Looks like it was Death Prophet and LC. That is fairly
And
costly from them.
Kunkka too, or was Kunkka alive?
I don't think Kunkka bought back.
Okay. No. So I gotta ask you about your opinion on the BKB on LC.
He didn't use it.
Recently, there was an addition to the Aghanim Scepter, allowing when you're in duel, you are magically immune. Yeah. Maybe it's better here as these fights draw more and more. You make sure you don't get rocketed and lasered.
Almost better than Black King Bar, right?
Yeah. Like, what else is it really helping? Like, it does debuff a corrosive haze, but I think Axe might have been the build this game.
It helps you get your blink off if you're worried about getting rocket spammed, which has happened in a lot of these fights
That's
because
true.
they do have
That's
vision
true.
from the lone druid bear going up very, very far. But yeah, it's tough. It's also a newer chain, so perhaps not so used to it.
Sure. Well,
This game's pretty tight still. Tinker still just outputting absurd amounts of damage in these fights.
I think from this point on, moving forward, it's not about the bear, it's not about the bristleback, it's more about the Tinker. XSS, if he can somehow find Tinker, then I think they can win the fight.
You still have to deal with the bristleback though. He despite him having no damage items, he is just incredibly tanky. And if he's in the middle of the fight stacking up sprays on everyone, he's going to destroy them.
Yeah.
And still no signs of Silver Edge coming out from the Radiant side. IG are not really concerned about it. They are going for a lot of defensive items, however. Pipe of Insight already up, Glimmer Cape up on Q, BKB coming out very soon onto OP.
I think the other big problem is that Burning's item progression has been halted completely. Like, he has been working on the AC for the past, I want to say, 5 to 7 minutes.
Yep.
And he's been dying multiple fights. No go for buyback, that kind of jazz. And Mind Control is still growing. Shiva's Guard is going to be his next item choice.
Yeah, you have to consider whether or not he went too heavy in on the
defensive build. Yeah.
I can understand it because I think he just thinks that he can outlast him in the fight, but Bristleback is great. I don't think you want to take long, drawn-out fights versus Bristleback, especially if he does not get dueled.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to kill him in the duel. He's been getting his Crimson Guard off the majority of the time before he gets dueled.
Yeah, the Crimson Guard also...
Another Arcane Rune, oh my goodness. Oh. That is glorious for Tinker.
The Yule Scepter, is it going to cancel the X? I think he just makes it back, okay. Good try by whoever that flew the fire that went off.
He does have Arcane though, so next fight they're going to deal with the Arcane Rune Tinker. We saw what happened last time with that.
Is it bottled or is it?
It's bottled.
Okay. That is a big problem. Roshan though not alive, and I think that's actually lucky here for...
It's going to be up in 2 minutes though, and Arcane Rune's still going to be there. And potentially he could have like a regeneration bottle at the same time. Which
I mean,
would be
4 runes.
devastating.
4 runes, right? You could,
oh, there is a regeneration bottle.
Yeah, there is one bottom. And there is going to be another one, right? Double rune and every 2 minutes. IG making a smoke. They're fighting into the arcane. Do they care? Do they not care?
You don't have a choice.
The choice is... Oh, that high ground advantage here by Team Liquid is going to be good. I don't know if they want to gather together like this. This is a very big choke.
So it looks like SSS has decided that he wants to build it.
BKB,
oh
what a blink away by
God.
GH. And that's a BKB commit here. Mind Control will get picked up in the torrent. Okay, pretty good spot here. Oh, what a savage war by Matumba, man.
Uh-oh. Exorcism is down, or it's been used, and Liquid are surely just going to wait it out.
Yep.
And Roshan's not even up, so IG couldn't even go in there if they wanted to.
This is a disaster for IG.
Uh-oh. What do they actually want to do now?
Re-smoke for Team Liquid. Gonna wait towards the tail end of that Exorcism. If they begin the fight now, the Exorcism should end.
I don't think they can win a fight without Exorcism.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do you really want to give away the Aegis?
They might have to.
Q's dead.
Yeah. Q is dead. XSS have heard you. He has a Shadow Blade to start things off, but...
Yeah, I think it's coming out way too late.
Too late.
They've needed it ages ago. Well, that should be a free roast for Team Liquid over here as they cinch this noose on this game number 2. And there's just runes coming out everywhere. Liquid probably hoping for another Arcane Rune on the bottom, but it will just be a double damage.
I mean, it just shows you how quickly a game could change. You know, I think about 25 minutes ago, IG just looked like they were in such dominant position.
Yep, that smoke wraparound, though, from Liquid
Yeah.
got them completely back in the game. Now no shrines outside of the base available left for IG, and they're going to have to wait until Exorcism is up. 20 seconds left for them, but Liquid have their eyes on this Rags. So how do they find Tinker? That's a big problem. They have some flying vision, but it's very difficult to actually go into the trees when you have to deal with multiple casts of March.
Maybe Bubble got random torrent, just let it rip. Hopefully,
you still need to kill him after you find him, too.
yeah. And running through mind control is the big problem here. The Link's going to be good here, Burning, getting a decent amount of damage.
Top barracks are under attack. Radiant structures.
And top lane is free. Keep in mind that
Yeah.
Matoma Man is split pushing at the same time. And he does have the Aegis, so he doesn't really care too much if they jump him because Tinker and his kind will be able to respond very quickly.
Yeah. I feel like if they jump the bear, they lose bot racks.
Well, he has Aegis, so you definitely don't
Yeah.
jump the bear. And you still have to deal with Savage Roar. And in that situation, Roach Pit, Ags would have certainly been better. Actually, if you're really quick about it, you can roar before the duel comes out.
Oh, they are dueling him up top right now, and they're going to try to take him down very, very quickly. Burning will be trying to defend the bottom racks, and it looks like so far he's successfully defending it. But like you said, Miracle joining in, but Miracle getting caught. All right, they got the little meme machine on the bottom side of the map. They're still going in for this lane of racks. It seems like IG have successfully defended the two-prong attack. The Yule Scepter, the bolt's going to be there. GH runs away from all of it. The X back, a little bit of a misplacement. Burning moving forward. They X mind control again, and they should be able to keep him here. But can the team get here in time? That is the question. They got the drain. Mind control still at half HP now on the back line. They run past mind control. They go for Kuro. Kuro, the much easier kill. Mind control moving forward for Q. But I think without mind...
He has cheese.
Or is he going to pop it? You think he's actually worth popping it?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think they can kill him twice.
Yeah, he's holding on to the X. Going to keep him here again. Mind control just making them work overtime for this kill. The raid boss, he's walking the pace. Could pop the cheese anytime he wants. He will save it for the next fight.
Didn't pop the cheese.
Yeah.
I guess he thought that he was going to die twice
I
there.
mean, Tinker was back if he did pop the cheese. Tinker could have came in and messed some kids up.
Yeah. Maybe he just wasn't exactly sure of the timing of the Tinker death.
Yeah.
Because he did have Bloodstone, so sometimes it's hard to gauge his respawn time.
Oh, that courier, though. Oh, poor Crystal Maiden. Ooh, great force staff here by Q.
So Tinker has shown that he is killable, especially if they can find him in the fights.
Yeah, I did not see how that fight occurred up top, but looks like Tinker did get caught. And now Burning switching up his build instead of going for the AC. He wants more damage.
Yeah, Bloodthorn, it's going to be pretty good versus Tinker, especially, it's going to be good versus anyone that you're attacking if
They have a
you
Lotus
have a
Orb.
laser on them.
They have a Lotus Orb on the Bristleback, so... I mean, he's been regularly Lotusing himself.
Yep.
So maybe you wait out the Lotus and go.
So good at stopping, like, even if you just briefly interrupt the rearm on the Tinker, it can interrupt his flow of spells a lot. Because then he has to wait for the Lotus, then he has to rearm again, and then he can blink. So even the tiny bit of interruption could be a game winner for him.
Oh, we're going to have a tight one for Game 2 as well. Still very hard to tell who's going to have the win here. Ethereal Blade coming out from Tinker.
Very good versus duel.
Yes, it is. Defensively and offensively. GH.
Yeah, they might actually need a Diffusal Blade on the Radiant side, but they still need Silver Edge. XSS is still building it, and Razor is almost maxed out. I don't think you want your 6th item to do Diffusal Blade.
XSS running a very dangerous spot. He's in War Vision right now. Dire sees him.
He has BKB. He can pop it quickly. Oh, he does have Shadow Blade. Nice.
Running to the trees. He will dodge a skank.
But he does have that Observer Ward over there.
Ooh, Blink does. They know he's here. Blink away from the rock. The TP out. Will he make it home? The crush is going to get him. XSS does not have buyback. 90-second. Did trade his life for a rock, but I think they desperately need his whole kit, the duel, the press the attack, overwhelming odd to defend.
I don't think you go on Bristle because you can't kill him during a duel.
Yep.
And this,
Would
he
he
has
go on the
cheese.
bear?
That's really bad. Yeah, I think you go on Bear.
All right,
Tinker
they'll X him
potentially
up.
too.
The Link's going to be there. Defensive force staff will be there here. And now they're going to go on Bristle. Bristle does have the cheese, half HP already, taking all of that exorcism. He'll get forced away, but X back right into the boat. They're going to hit him again. He needs to activate that cheese. The cheese does pop out. They don't think... No! They're going to burn through him! Cheese! What cheese? Left for Maj, gone. GA comes in into the lion's mouth. He's got to be very careful. X-Torrent will pick up 2 hero. I don't think they want to chase out of the base, but that was an excellent defense through Cheese. I'm surprised they were able to do so much damage.
The 2 cores were on the north side, and maybe it would have been better for him to actually face towards the south.
Right.
Keep running towards the IG base so that he could have stopped damage from the Bristleback. I think it was a max static link on the Razor, and he is level 25 at this point. So max static link is 336, I believe, damage that you're taking from the front, which is not not great.
If you have your back face towards the enemy heroes, you have 66% more effective HP. Just think about that for a second, and he did not have his back towards the 2 cores, so he looked like he was extremely killable.
It is natural reaction just to run back towards your team.
True.
It was just surprising that he died so quickly.
That's why they need that axe, the new axe on Bristleback. You can moonwalk on your hero. Just toggle it, turn it back and forth anytime you want. Michael, you know, just let it go. Yeah, man. I think that would be great for Bristleback, but
then he wouldn't have to deal with unstable current.
There you go. All right, we're going to be in a low again. XSS back alive, burning. Oh, never mind. He does have the AC finish. I misspoke here earlier. Still going back for the damage item in the XSS blink duel. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Finds the duel here. Key duel on Miracle. Lower his Bloodstone. And I cannot believe Miracle got caught out like that.
That was big.
Great pick.
XSS delivering in IG's hour of greatest need.
Yep, and now they could force out a buyback from the Tinker. And this is when you started to get Liquid in perhaps a little bit of trouble. I don't know why that song just wanted. IG walking up the hill. Keep in mind they do have Exorcism. Of course, with Burning's Aghanim Scepter, they're going to pop everything and go on the high ground. Here we go. Burning, hitting the building. Glyph, I believe, should be available on Team Liquid. Liquid, Mind Control sitting on the front line. They are ignoring them. Look at that building just melt. Aggressive attack on OP. Defensive Yule on OP as well. Tower down. Buyback on Tinker, not going to be spent. They push him in right into the tier 4. They got Corrosive Haze on him as well. What a good rock. The bolt has to be actually flown out here. And now Mind Control's in there, tanking things up. I think it's time for IG to back off. They have taken the melee racks, but they're kept alive here inside the base. They're controlling OP. That laser going off right now. OP defensive Yules again. I think OP. Whoa! HP back. Okay, keep us up a little bit longer, but not long enough. He will go down. He does have buyback.
That bash, though. He tried to BKB TP, but he got bashed by GH as that happened. Roshan up in a minute's time. Liquid probably looking to at least force a buyback right now. Looks like the bear is going to check Roche right now, and much to Liquid's chagrin, no cheese and Aegis there, but straight down the mid they will barrel.
Axe on the bear, allowing the bear to attack out of leash range. What an interesting item choice. 55 minutes in the game.
It also stays alive if he dies.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I'm not positive on that, but
it survives if Lone Druid dies.
Look at the bear. It's already rotating up top. They want to split push as the main force of Liquid push down mid. This is Rat Dota intensifies here for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I don't know if they have seen the axe from Lone Druid, and the bear is attacking the top Rex.
There you go. They definitely know now.
Yep, they know that something strange is happening.
But what can you do about it?
Yep. Oh my God! The range Rex is dead on the left side. Oh my God! It's that axe.
That axe, man. And now Mind Control in the front says, "Oh, nobody's defending against me because they're dealing with a bear. Okay, I'm gonna just hit this tier 3, kill the bear." All right, they do kill the bear.
I also hear IG cursing.
I didn't hear that myself. Just lots of noise in the background. X Torrent flying out against Mind Control the bear, back alive. Not being Michael on the top lane here. XSS popping, and he's going to get the duel off. Defensive shotgun coming out from Miracle. No duel damage. And in fact, it's going to be XSS dying in the front line. OP, though, they find the Bearman. The Bearman goes down. He does not have buyback on the right side. GH popping his BKB. Yule Scepter finds Miracle. Will that be the death of it? Miracle will get a Lotus Orb on himself. He's running away. He should be able to refresh his blink, and he's out of there. But critical thing is no buyback on the bear, no buyback on GH.
Death Prophet also had a buyback with very little left on her death timer. This is not very good for them. Kuro also scouting at Roche. He does have an invisibility rune. Is there any gem? Q does have one, but he is all the way back in the base, and now IG will be going for the Roshan. Can Kuro actually get a steal here? That would be huge.
Just walk in. Easiest steal of your life, Kuro. You got this.
This could be devastating for them. He also has a rock. If he can time it properly, steal the Aegis and the cheese with a rock, is that worth?
I think so.
I think the problem is they actually take it down so slowly that his invis is going to wear out. That's so sad. This was a perfect play for him.
Oh, Q's coming in as well. But I think the invis will run out. Yeah, he has to back off here. Oh god, run, Kuro, run. All right, he's out of there. In fact, they're not even close to taking that Roshan. Was that the play to take Roshan instead of push out the lanes and maybe look for another lane of Rax?
They don't know that Lone Druid doesn't have buyback. They just have to assume that he does.
Right.
So he just bought his scepter. And what? They're actually going for someone on top lane. Kuro is.
Gold from my chest.
It's going to be a 10-man fight here as all the heroes respawn as they leave the Roche pit. But Roche is at 30%.
Wait, Blink Duel, they found the X. Ooh, Torrent Bow, everything on Miracle. Miracle, oh, the combo misses completely, but they found him regardless. They have to silence. The Torrent's going to cancel that TP. Miracle caught again here. Bloodstone is running out. OP just running past the Slaughter. No care. He's going to get X back, and that's going to be yet another kill. The Chinese crowd coming out alive.
He also
and Tinker does not buy back.
Dead for 70. At least he has a little bit of minus respawn from his Bloodstone, but that's a long time. Now Burning going for the Roche. They definitely need the Aegis, I would say, for the Death Prophet, considering OP still has no buyback, and this could be it. 60 seconds.
They take it so damn slow.
Yeah, Liquid has to push out the lanes
Yeah.
right now as quickly as they can. The Lone Druid with his Axe can push out multiple lanes at once, which is quite nice, and they have BOTs. At this point, you also have to start considering maybe you all in for the throne if you're Liquid, if IG go for a GG push.
All right, that GG push might come right now. Burning.
That Lone Druid Bear is surprisingly strong at going for the GG push. And it is making its way over towards the top lane with the Radiance. I mean, it's pretty stacked in terms of items. And that's something that's very easy to overlook in the heat of the moment when you're trying to go for the throne yourself.
All right, IG. We'll pop that out. Backdoor protection. Still alive. Defensive smoke here from Liquid. Maybe trying to get some sort of wraparound play.
They're trying to go for Megas right now, but Tinker's up in just 10 seconds. It's not going to be enough time for them to secure 3 lanes.
Melee Rax up top here. Got to be careful. Oh, the bear got recall back.
Did it? Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you know, that would have gone at Rax for sure if, well, right there, it should be gone already. But instead, IG will take a Shrine.
Yeah, maybe. I am not sure why he brought his bear back right then. He also has another bear if he wanted to resummon it, but better safe than sorry, I suppose.
Missed
but I mean,
opportunity,
that was a pretty big missed opportunity, I think.
Well, Liquid will continue to push out the lanes here. Wait, can you click on the bear for me? Because I cannot
The
see.
bear currently has Basher, Mjolnir, AC, Radiance, and bots. And Vlad's.
That is like more farm than... Is it more farm than Burning?
Burning has Refresher in his inventory right now. Burning is #1 net worth in this game.
Yep, and
so,
Bear is close behind.
Yep. Buyback status, 4 minutes left on Death Prophet, pretty much coinciding with the Aegis expiration, and Tinker only has 2 minutes left. So the window to take advantage of Tinker's buyback is almost null at the moment.
Yep.
And IG, how are they going to...
Clean water.
What are they going to do now? They have the Aegis, they have the cheese, and they have to worry about a split from the Tinker, split from the Bear. There's even BOT potential on the Bear that could be anywhere. And there's just so many bad things that can happen if they actually go for a push. But if they don't make a move, there's going to be a 12-slotted Lone Druid. Tinker's still going to be able to push out your lanes. And I have no idea what they are going to do next.
Yep. I mean, for Team Liquid's perspective, they're going to just weigh out this Aegis. No need to make any kind of aggressive play. XSS,
I know what. XSS is waiting for Tinker and force out another buyback. But
okay, they X the bear.
That's great.
Yeah, that's going to be a bear kill. These bear kills are, you know,
quite
important. Yeah.
That is the step 1, to pick off these split pushers, including the bear itself, so that you don't potentially just lose the game while you're pushing.
Heart being attempted here by Mind Control. He's out of slots.
Dude, everyone's out of slots, aside from the supports.
Yep. Poor Kuro.
Well,
6,000 network.
He went for 30 health regen on Bristle. I see the stack damage a lot.
Yeah.
But there is a stack max damage cap on Quill Spray.
There is, but if you reach there, you win the fight, right? So I think adding more Quill Spray damage, helping you to reach there faster, is perhaps more
I
important.
agree with that. I think like Quill Spray plus like Octarine, so you can just get those off rapid fire,
Right.
is pretty good. And it also gives you extra life steal so that you don't
Right.
die.
It seems like in these fights, when he does get gunned down eventually, I'm not sure how much the regen actually factors into the thing, but still, it's hard to say no to regen.
Okay, so
versus
finally, IG will be making a move with the Aegis. There is the bear on the left side. They are picking it up, but
activates
they're
the
okay.
BKB, refreshes it, double ultimate from Burning. Is he letting it loose? Look at the lightning zap. Mind Control comes close and gets burned. GA comes in with a stun. And now Burning should be focusing on the building, but still letting it go here. Second BKB from Burning as well.
What is
They want Mind
Baboka
Control.
doing?
I'm not sure, but
Oh
the Expo pushing people back. I think that was a play here. And now the duel is going to come off as well. Burning just hitting building at this time right now. And GH moving forward, but Burning, his ultimate is about to run down. That is a 3-man stun. OP on the back line just dies to laser Tinker laser spells. Burning, running away. OP does respawn. He's in the base alone by himself. XSS needs to give him a pressy attack to get rid of that corrosive haze. OP, he's dead. But they get the racks.
Okay.
Does he have X?
Dude, the bear almost got mega creeps. It might get mega creeps right here. Oh no! The bear!
Frostbite,
Holy
frostbite. Okay.
crap.
Okay.
That is what happens when you let that bear alone.
Yeah.
And so the total racks count is 2 left on the Dire side and 1 left for the Radiant side. The bear made quick work of the entire base. The Ags on the Kunkka almost made the big plays, but all they got was a Tinker buyback out of that and 1 racks, whereas Liquid got 5 racks out of that, I believe. This is.
Was it 5 racks?
I think it was 5 racks.
I was not paying attention.
No,
to
he got the range racks on top earlier, so it was only 4 racks.
Only 4 racks.
3 melee racks and 1 range racks. That is a big prize. And this range racks is at 164 HP. That's like 1 hit with a battle cry on.
Goodbye. Like this Rax is dead eventually.
Yeah.
Both teams just like so scared. Neither team is leaving the base.
I think at this point you just assume that you're going to get megaed as IG.
Yes.
So
definitely.
you have to start going into Mjolnirs. You definitely need a Vlad's. At least they have the Silver Edge finally on the XSS. You're going to need a refresher up on OP. And Tinker doesn't have buyback, but does that really matter when you can get thrown without any of the heroes being there?
I mean, and I think this is a rare instance where Mega Creeps will outfight IG's hero 65 minutes in the game. Like, remember that scenario where they had trouble taking down Roche? Like, this is a team that needs their ult to actually fight, and you're not going to pop ults against Mega Creeps if you're IG, so getting Mega Creep against IG is really, really big.
You might actually need a Radiance for OP.
A Radiance?
To push out lanes? Like, what other items do you get as DP to push out waves? You have Shivas already. Like, you have to push out waves. You just assume you're getting mega at this point if you're XS.
Is Mjolnir better?
Mjolnir's okay, but I think she's not really attacking that much. I don't know.
Or maybe go the spell damage route with faster cooldown Octarine. No, he's already got the Octarine. Yeah,
I think you get like Radiance instead of your Solar Crest, but he will have the Refresher Orb, which is going to lead to 2 ults, or do you just YOLO throne it? Is that a play? I don't know.
Kuro is walking in. He is the delivery package, and there is BOT2 on his allies.
Well, he can just rock. He doesn't have magic immunity. Oh, he has the something. A goal
They're
on
teleporting in. Observer, please watch the base. Okay, they tear up TP in the bear. It's gone. All right.
That was smart.
Yeah.
Quick and easy. Here you go, GG Death. But there is actually no bear. Bear just recalled back, so they actually cannot go for the throne race play on the Liquid side. They're going to have to fight this one head on.
I think this is the correct play for Team Liquid. If they defend, they win this game.
TP'd back to Bear. They could have just thrown it.
I mean, there was backdoor protection, right? Burning activates the first BKB ult. It's going to fly now. Refresh Orb, not activated just yet. Burning, now refresh. On the backline, Jace stuns the backline here. The Rock on the backline as well. In fact, it's going to be the Crystal Maiden first one to drop. Boboka is going to use the bow as a question. They have the X on. No, he misses it. No, he actually calls him back in. It's fine. But, oh, he's in the base. The Tinker's fine. And now Boboka moving forward. The Shrine is activated. They need to kill this Tinker. He's teleporting out. Anybody cancel that TP? No. Burning out of HP in the base. And Burning's going to get bashed. Burning's going to go down. Burning's out. He does have buyback. Does he have BOT back in the fight? OP in a lot of trouble as well. He's going to get zapped. He also buys back, but now it's Mega Creep. No, he finished the teleport. He's in there. He's going to die back. That Torrent-sized Texas, the Texas-sized Torrent, not going to be enough to save his ally.
That's GG.
That is indeed GG.
Is GG.
Wait, OP's in there again. Hold on. Bear dies.
They have
Buyback
so
should
many
be forced
they have
out.
buybacks on, I think, everyone on Liquid at this point.
Well, okay, I mean, don't call it GG yet, but look at the bear. The bear's in the base, hitting the throne. Oh my God, it's as you has foretold it. It's the bear with the split push. Tinker's now back in the fight again, and it is going to be going to a Game 3. Team Liquid making some intense rat plays towards the end and was able to outlast
That
IG.
axe pickup was perfectly timed by Matama Man. It could not have come at a better time for them. And, of course, excellent micro by him. Excellent job by Miracle getting back in the game after an atrocious start from him. That one smoke play that this game could have been over in like 35 minutes had they not made that one smoke play.
That smoke play where it looks so hectic, right? Like Razor was not in the fight, DP wasn't in the fight. Despite getting the duel off, the duel on GH never actually accomplished anything in that game. So a lot of things could have been improved for IG, but let's not take anything away from Team Liquid. They played superbly under a ton of pressure throughout the mid game and was able to close it out. What a game, what a finish.
What a finish. Excellent play. Thanks, these two teams, for giving us some... I mean, weren't they both kind of throne races?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, earlier at the beginning of the series, I said this was some grand final quality of gameplay, and I'm happy to see this is it. This is what we're seeing. But let's see what our boys over the analyst table will think about it. Send it back to Nahas.
Welcome back, and for only the third time in 11 series here at the Starliner I-League Invitational, we have Game 3 in a patch that has seen so many high-tempo, fast-paced games. We get a pair of 60-minute classics between IG and Team Liquid, now all even at one apiece. Let me bring back in my four-man panel, guys. For the first 40 minutes, it's defense of the bristleback, but in the end, that's not a bear, it's a rat, baby.
No.
Team Liquid take it.
It was great. It was wonderful. Aghanim Scepter Bear is back. Lone Druid with, like, actually his bear is back. And you don't want to try and base race that one. They just completely destroyed the entire base while they were pushing along that bottom lane. It was beautiful.
He won the game with that Aghanim Scepter.
Absolutely.
Where do we start?
It was
You know
a
what?
long one.
That sentence, you could almost leave it there. It's a game-winning pickup.
Yeah.
I like the flexibility that this Liquid draft ultimately ended up having for both, like the early push timings we had to worry about, and then later on as well. The bear, as you mentioned, is back. I've been talking about that with this patch and the versatility that provides now as part of an early push, and then of course with the building destruction later on. And then I like that last pick quite a bit because the Tinker, it's a great complement to that early push, just being able to add damage from the back lines and make it harder to fight into it. But then later on, it does Tinker things as well, right? Not just hold the lanes, but the potential to come in at any point in the fight and just burst people down. So I like that. But there's just so much to talk about this game. It's not so cut and dried for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I gotta own up. Reddit was right. I got accused of jinxing the XXS Legion commander coming in 24-6 career. I thought XXS played wonderfully throughout most of the mid game and really neutralized the mind control bristleback. But it felt like it reached a point in the game where they could no longer kill the bristle in the duel, and that's where the game started to turn.
Yeah, he was getting good duels during the mid game. He didn't get any damage, but still, he's just forced him to turn his back around. I mean, the front around. And the big deal was that they didn't have any diffusal blade for that ethereal blade on Tinker. And when he casts on bristleback, it's pretty impossible to kill that BB.
The other thing that I felt like was that, there was the initial struggles in the laning phase, but once he got into the Blink Dagger, there was this really strong timing that IG hit where it was the Kunkka, going in and finding kills with that boat. I think down towards that bottom lane where it was looking, really terrible for Liquid. And it was like a duel into a boat, and then they just kept doing it over and over again. And I think that it goes to show the power of the Kunkka in the early to mid-game team fights, how much that boat brings, not just in terms of damage, but damage mitigation. And it's a hero that I think is going to become even more prevalent in this meta. That being said, the Aghanims looked really underwhelming in that one fight along the bottom lane. But
is it possible to see the damage that Bristleback has taken?
Yes, it is. I'm waiting for the final numbers for that match to come in, but we're going to have those for you in just a minute here.
I mean, it's just insane how much he can tank with just Mech, Crimson Guard, and Lotus Orb.
Yep. Yeah,
I mean, there's 5 people focusing you. You can't die. And the big part of it is the latest change in his talent tree, 10% spell lifesteal.
Yeah.
Speaking of timings and itemization, I think the itemization choices have been really interesting throughout this series for different heroes, especially for burning on the carries that he's been playing. So they obviously had the kind of draft, the ability answers for the Bristleback, the duel, and then just dump a bunch of spells on him when his face is turned, and that was able to turn him back a number of times. But they reached this point after there, as Lacoste was alluding to, where with their item progressions, they didn't have damage anymore based on just spells and abilities to burst them down, and they had to choose how to itemize. Was it, do you go tankier so that you can continue to survive the next round of spells and maybe like go and fight them outside of the base, or do you go for more damage, which exposes you more in the fight, but allows you to maybe end the fight quicker, especially if you start to lack control later on, if you're just relying on the Kunkka and the CM. Again, like not hard disable, not the kind of big like AoE team fight that we've seen maybe from XSS. So then it becomes harder to find an environment where you can keep them in place and deal damage to them. And then I think that was if there was a weak point to IG's draft in terms of not just dealing with the Bristle early, but being able to have answers later on, that was it. And that ended up coming in handy in Liquid's favor over time.
What do you think about the heart on Razor?
I think, well...
Should have gone for Silver Edge, maybe Daedalus, just for maximum damage output.
Potentially. I think in hindsight, and easy to say things in hindsight, of course, that it might have been a bit too much in that direction. Like, they were already not necessarily having problems surviving the fight. They needed to be able to finish them before Liquid could get off multiple additional rounds of damage. And I think it might have been too much in the defensive direction there.
And I think that like trying to go for something, because traditionally the answer would be like Bloodthorn to really try and boost that out, but there were so many defensive items like Lotus Orbs and all that stuff to take it off that like Daedalus, I feel like feels a little bit underwhelming sometimes, even though it's gotten buff after buff after buff. So I can understand the heart to try and just like extend the fight out, but then if you're extending the fight out, now it's also Tinker who you're extending the fight out against, and that's a hero that's just known for being able to deal ridiculous amounts of damage, and Miracle did it.
Yeah, in the later stages, it was really hard to fight against that Tinker and Fatal Bonds combo, and especially Tinker with Dagon 5, and they had pretty much nothing to catch him with because Bristle was in the front all the time.
Yeah,
also, those lasers, that's a big part of they can't really hit, at least Razor.
That's the thing with Razor, right? There's a lot of different like item choices you can make for different timings in the game. We see how Empire plays this here. We saw that you mentioned that evasion Razor that they played. I think that might have been an option this game against not just the Bristleback, you know, smaller considerations, but the Golem, the Bear, obviously.
Right.
Like that was a possible choice for them as well. And then you basically have to worry about the Tinker in terms of health and being bursted down. But Razor has some natural passive that helps deal with that already.
Yeah, as you saw, the EGB.com betting odds flash down at the bottom of the screen. Our bettors liked Liquid even after that Game 1 victory by IG, so maybe some people making a little money on that one. I was very happy for Matumbaman in that game. There was reading some of the comments after the first game. There were some people questioning the late game decision making, going for megas, eating a death in Game 1 without buyback. He really came through in the late game situation there, Game 2 for Liquid.
Totally. Yeah, it's what you need to do. You need to have that instinct to go for the kill. And, you know, there's a question of if he should have brought back the Bear in the top lane. It ended up working out perfectly because that threatened, you know, the potential for a quick kill. And then they ended up being able to take down the objectives afterwards. I think it's pretty easy to, like, sit back at home and you're just chilling and you're like, yeah, what are you doing? You don't know what you're doing.
Probably,
like,
this
you
is
got
partly why I brought this
people
point up to you
yelling at
guys.
them. They're crazy. I will give a little bit of credit to the crowd as well. It was like silent in here when I walked out. I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? But then, you know, Liquid won. There's some clapping. They showed respect there at the end. It was good.
All right, boys. Game 2 of this series is in the books. It is all even, one game apiece. Coming up next, we're going to take a short break, and then Liquid and IG will play one game. Winner moves on, loser goes home here at the Starladder I-League Invitational. Stay tuned.